Welcome. My name is Yasmin Saeed and you're watching the English news programme on Somaliland National Television. These are the stories making headlines. The Vice President of Somaliland prayed with the large number of citizens at Al Quba Mosque. Ma'roof Foundation organised iftar for Somaliland diaspora. West Bank protests over Gaza turn deadly. Somaliland Vice President, who is also the acting president, joined citizens to the Friday prayer at Al Quba Mosque in Hargeisa. Mr. Sayli'i freely interacted with the people without heavy security personnel. The Vice President of Somaliland, who is also the acting president of Somaliland, joined citizens at the Friday prayer at Al Quba Mosque in Hargeisa. Mr. Sayli'i freely interacted with the people without having heavy security personnel. Sheikh Adan Mahmoud Hirey Adan Siro, who is the Imam of Al Quba Mosque, addressed the importance of giving zakat among the Muslim community, and he urged people to ensure that every poor family enjoys food on the day of Eid. Some of the people who prayed at the Friday prayer with the Vice President praised this act as they were personally rushing to shake hands of the Vice President. Ma'roof Foundation organised iftar for Somaliland diaspora. The objective of the event was said to encourage diaspora members to contribute to the efforts of assisting mentally ill people across Somaliland. The Ma'roof organisation presented figures and assessments of the basic needs of the mentally ill people. The Deputy Chairman of Ma'roof Foundation, Sheikh Abdurrahman, who made the opening remarks, highlighted the importance of assisting psychiatric people, and he stated, "We made an assessment which informed us that these large number of people, especially females who live on the streets and lack basic needs such as food and medical care as well as shelter. In addition, 99% of their families are extremely poor and unable to give a hand to their loved ones." Members of the diaspora who attended the event also gave a speech and underlined the significance of assisting psychiatric people who live in Somaliland. Furthermore, they presented advisory comments on the ways to further collaborate and raise funds for psychiatric people. Indeed Garad Group, which is one of the groups in the Facebook, donated food to Borama Psychiatric Hospital. Members of the group who attended the event described the components of the donation handed over and the food to include rice, dates, pasta and oil. Indeed Garad Group, which was one of the groups on Facebook, donated food to Borama Psychiatric Hospital. Members of the group who also attended the event described the kind of assistance they hand over to Borama Psychiatric Hospital and the foods. Over 100 people have united on this Facebook group, and they repeatedly raise funds to assist people in need, as stated by the founder of the group, Mr. Roble. He also added that members of this Facebook group are combined of intellectuals, government officials, diaspora and youth who showed commitment to debate and discuss developmental initiatives of the Somaliland community. You're still tuned into Somaliland National Television, the only Somali-speaking channel with an English news programme, and here for the international headlines. West Bank protests over Gaza turn deadly. Israeli police killed 2 Palestinians during rallies in solidarity with battered Gaza Strip, where the death toll has topped 800.
The largest protests in years erupted in the occupied West Bank of Israel's offensive in the Gaza Strip as the Israeli military continued to batter the besieged enclave with airstrikes, and the death toll topped 800. 2 protesters were killed and scores of others injured on Thursday in clashes with police in Ramallah city, just north of Jerusalem, according to the medics. More demonstrations have been called for by Palestinian factions on Friday, prompting the Israeli army to impose strict security measures in East Jerusalem. Protesters on Thursday were also held in Nablus, Bethlehem and several Jerusalem neighborhoods. Doctors at Ramallah Hospital said they had received dozens of live fire victims and appealed for blood donors. The Israeli military confirmed troops had used riot dispersal means against protesters who threw rockets and fire bombs at them and blocked the road with burning tires. By overnight Friday, parts of the main road between the West Bank's Ramallah city and Jerusalem was carpeted with rocks that mostly young Palestinians threw at Israeli forces. Both Palestinian activists and Israeli radio said the protests appeared to be the largest since the end of 2000 till 2005 Palestinian uprising. The rallies came as Palestinian anger at Israeli mounted aimed the growing number of civilian casualties in Gaza Strip. In the West Bank, we need to take our resistance efforts to a higher level. Gaza. Nail Halabi, a student at Persite University, told reporters, "Gaza is not alone, we are part of the same struggle." On Thursday alone, at least 119 people were killed in Israeli bombardment on the Gaza Strip, bringing the total death toll of Palestinians killed in Israeli 13-day assault to 817. Rockets fired from Gaza into Israel killed 2 Israeli civilians and a Thai migrant worker. The fighting also killed 32 Israeli soldiers. Israel maintains that its offensive is targeting Hamas fighters in Gaza and a network of underground tunnels, which they say are used to attack their troops and civilians. But most of those killed in Gaza were civilians, including scores of children. At least 16 Palestinians dead after a UN facility in Gaza sheltering displaced people was hit on Thursday. UN Chief Ban Ki-moon said he was appalled at the incident, which underscores the imperative for the killing to stop and stop now. Washington said it was deeply saddened and concerned about the tragic incident, without explicitly blaming its ally Israel for the shelling. U.S. Secretary of State John Kerry was in Cairo for a second time in 48 hours, trying to broker an end to the bloodshed. His efforts were focused on a week-long humanitarian ceasefire, during which intensive negotiations will tackle the blockade of Gaza and other disputes. Hamas, who was fired hundreds of rockets at Israel during the Israeli offensive on Gaza, earlier rejected an Egyptian proposal. The Palestinian group said any truce must include a guaranteed end to Israel's 8-year blockade on the Gaza Strip. Israel Public Radio reported that the country's security cabinet was expected to meet on Friday to discuss U.S. proposals for a Gaza ceasefire given to Israel and Hamas. If Hamas accepts the American proposal, it's not impossible that there could be an Israeli decision to accept it also. Public Radio quoted an unnamed senior Israeli sources as saying, Israeli paper Haaretz quoted a senior Israeli official as saying that Kerry had drafted a new ceasefire proposal and presented it to both sides. International efforts to achieve a ceasefire in the Gaza Strip are approaching the critical point, the report read. There was no official confirmation. Israel traditionally does not comment on security cabinet sessions or acknowledge that they take place.
That's all the news we have for you today. Thank you for watching, and until next time, goodbye.